Dude, Hasan is a pampered retard. Why are people acting like Hasan is saying this in some sort of good faith way? He's a pampered retard that wants to moan to generate sympathy with his retarded audience is what he's trying to do. But she claimed that what she does now is harder than working a 12-hour shift with a 4-hour commute on top whilst being a student. That is just bullshit on the face of it. Yes, you're saying this now when you've got shit on for your bad take.
No, I like the ability to enjoy my job and not want to die afterward.
Oh yeah, that's what people are saying, isn't it? If you're a socialist, you can never complain and you're not allowed to have a house. Yes, you've nailed it. Wait, so she's claiming she did door-to-door sales for 12 hours a day? That's easier than streaming. What? So I covered it at length yesterday, and my basic take is this. Whilst it is true, as people were pointing out, that Hasan wasn't saying that his job is harder necessarily than other jobs. Wonderful. I mean, at the end of the day, there's lots of people with bad takes on this. And I think that oftentimes it's because they're not even necessarily looking at the full context of what's being said. But like, dude, Hasan is a pampered retard. Why are people acting like Hasan is saying this in some sort of good faith way? Right? He's a pampered retard that wants to moan to generate sympathy with his retarded audience is what he's trying to do. And Denims is the same. Denims is exactly the fucking same. Right? And Denims' take was worse as far as I'm concerned. But that's exactly what Hasan is doing. Right? Now, I wouldn't really care about that if he was just doing the whole, oh yeah, you know, I've had a long time streaming and it makes difficult, you know, social affairs difficult afterwards. Whatever, right? But the fact that he was trying to invoke this comparison to a regular job is absolutely insane. And on top of that as well, he was doing it on the basis that he worked at the TYT in a fucking nepotism hire. And acting like that's a normal sales job. So he's saying like, oh, streaming is harder than working at the nepotism sales job that I worked at for a bit. Bro, it's so delusional. He's so delusional. He doesn't understand what normal sales jobs are like, where you've got to make hundreds of calls a day and you've got all the targets you've got to hit. And if you don't hit targets, you're out the door. You know, there's lots of extra stress and pressure. And on top of that as well, you're not making millions of dollars per year doing it. Look, there are some things that are true about streaming, right? People think it's just a DOS and it is harder than it looks sometimes. Right? People that act like, oh, it's not a proper job. That's annoying, yeah, because it just is. If you pay your bills with it, that's your job, right? But the thing is, fundamentally, right, even with the negatives, it will always be easier and you know, in multiple ways than a regular job. There are some things that are different, like you do have more stress and pressure from people paying attention to you and stuff like that, and talking for a long period of time, of course, is draining. But the comparison to the normal job is stupid. Because on the balance of everything, this will always be preferable to working a normal job. Okay? That's it. It's really as simple as that. On top of that as well, okay, on top of that too, is people do not want to hear pampered millionaires moaning. This has been a tale as old as time. Celebrities used to get mocked when they complained about the things that bother them, and it's all millionaire first world problems. You know, what Hasan was talking about was being too drained after a stream to engage in some sort of social affair with his wealthy socialite friends. Like, people are just going to be like, what the fuck, man? Do you know what I mean? Like, millionaire problems are not that, you know, people just don't want to hear it. But we listen to you moaning every day. True. But I moan about things that you want to hear moaned about. Not, oh, Paul, woe is me, guys. Woe is me. Woe is me. People don't want to hear the woe is me shit from wealthy fucks. Right? I don't know. That's my perception of it anyway. That's my guess why people are upset about it too. You know, I think that people generally just don't want to hear that shit. So anyway, the Hasan stuff was only one part of this. You know, obviously, I also yesterday put a tweet out which showed Denims kind of stupid take on this too. As someone who has worked 12-hour shifts with a 4-hour commute until going to uni full-time, streaming is easily the hardest job I've had. The post-stream social exhaustion is so real, and I don't know how anyone could do it every day. The problem is Denims is trying to say, well, that's just my experience. But people are contesting your experience because they're thinking, so you're claiming something which I can relate to, not me personally. I've never done a 4-hour commute, a 12-hour shift, but say someone watching maybe has done something like that. They might be looking at it and relating to that and going, well, having done the 4-hour commute with 12-hour shifts, I can tell you for a fact that was very difficult and exhausting, and to compare it to streaming is like an insult, right? I don't even know how it works. Didn't JStalk tweet something out about this? I saw. He said something. In fact, I think Denims referenced it in the video we're about to watch. Well, I don't know if we're going to get to that bit because it's 4 hours long. But it was something like, you know, prove this. Prove this was a thing. Because it's like, that doesn't sound realistic. The luxury of a 40-hour day. Anyway, the reason that I pointed this out as to why this was so absurd is not just because it's absurd on the face of it, based on what she's saying. It's the fact that she only streams 4 hours a day, 4 to 5 hours a day, 5 days a week. And on top of that as well, normally her first hour of her stream is her just playing someone else's video as a starting soon screen. So not only is she only streaming 4 to 5 hours, you know, up to normally at least like 50 or an hour, 50 minutes or an hour of that, it's just playing someone else's video. So really, it's a 3 to 4 hour stream that she's doing. You're not counting the prep time doing makeup or picking an outfit. I mean, okay. Anyway, she did a response to all of the drama, so I thought we'd have a listen to that and see what's what. Okay. So, obviously, I went to find this VOD. Okay. I went to find the VOD where she apparently is going to tell us what a struggle it is to stream for a few hours a day, 5 days a week. But of course, before we can get to that, that's right, you guessed it, we got to sit here for up to an hour and watch a video. She did it on the stream as well. Bro, it's shameless.
But only a total of about 130
just playing the news
showed up in that primary. Okay, both President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris hit the campaign trail hard in South Carolina earlier this month.
Just waiting for Denims to do her makeup or something, probably.
Okay, that's wonderful.
Bro, it's nuts. Look. 5 minutes.
99 cents from Mr. Frex.
10 minutes.
There's
like her play
clinics
life on practice
that are already
mode.
saying
Still
because of
demands turning
20
on
minutes.
you know, I don't
30 minutes.
the ground in the god
30 minutes, which, you know, listen, I do a 30-minute just starting screen, which, you know, is some people think is long.
I mean,
but Denim surpasses even that.
Begin to describe how disgusting and shameful.
40 minutes.
But it was actually the two
40
black women
minutes
in the group who had this very instinctive, which is I think a very normie reaction.
45 minutes. Bro. It's so shameless to me. You're not playing others' content intro. Yeah, I pay for a license for the music that I play, just in case anyone doesn't realize. It's a Monster Cat, and you can pay for a gold license, and they let you stream and play the music, and it's yeah, covered in that. So yeah. I think if you've got the means to, yeah, you should find a... Why not just play your own content? Just play your own videos. I don't understand why, like, when you're away for such significant time, it's fine to do a just starting screen. That's not a problem. Maybe, and if you've got permission, I guess it's okay. But, like, why not just play your own content or some music? And on top of that as well, it's not just the fact that it's a very long starting screen. Like, for example, I'm pretty sure that Trainwrecks does like really long starting screens, but then he goes on to stream for like what 48 hours or 24 hours or something like that, whereas Denims will do this and in some cases will only then stream for a further 3 or 4 hours, but that's rare. Normally it's about 3 hours on top of that, meaning the entire stream is 4 hours long. I mean, you can literally look through the VODs and you can see, you know, 4 hours 48, 4 hours 12, 4 hours 16, 3 hours 45, 4 hours 9, 4 hours 18, 3 hours 44, 3:58, 3:48, 5:04. Oh, put a bit of extra effort in there. 4 hours 53. Oh, 5 hours 45. Really putting a shift in, working some overtime. Right. Crazy. Anyway, I'm pretty sure soon after this she gets started, so...
Guys, we're about to talk about the most oppressed group today.
Oh, there we go. So what are we? 4 hours 46. You first hear us speak.
No, not
There we go.
gamers. Streamers.
Oh, the slurp as well. Jesus Christ, man. Denims has got this really nasty habit of, like, having the mic like this. You can just hear everything. It's horrible. Why do you have the mic so close to your face? Move it away. It will find you.
Problematic fave. Cancelled again. For being too based and for ass too fat. Unbelievable, right?
I don't know how much I'm going to be able to stomach of this shit, honestly.
What did you do now? Well, you see, I had the audacity to disagree with weirdos on the internet. I know. My mistake. My mistake. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's wonderful.
Okay, I didn't know.
But how do I make money
I didn't know.
off depressed people?
Couple
Hey.
weeks ago was so busy at my job I worked 7 days consecutively, 10 to 12 hours each. I think Hasan might be somewhat of a pussy.
Hey, Omnipuna, thank you for the 1337. Appreciate it.
I had an opinion on Twitter. I'm sorry. Oh, how was I supposed to know that they were going to get mad?
I really hate it when people do this. They have a really shit take on something to the point that she deleted the tweet, by the way. She deleted the tweet and they go, oh, I just had a bad take. If you only had a bad take and you stand by it, why'd you delete the fucking tweet then, you stupid bitch?
The tweet was going to leave the target audience. I didn't know that. No.
You're posting on Twitter. Everyone can see what you say. What are you on about? You're supposed to be a professional content creator for many years now. Why do you not think that if you put a tweet out, other people are going to see it?
Darn it. Opinions
God,
online. What are you, crazy? Luckily, I'm a woman, so
can't stand it.
Mode.
Can't stand it. Hasan's take was still shit with the context, right? But, like, you know, at the end of the day, Denim's take was just plain worse because she wasn't even saying it was equivalent in some way or something like that, which is what Hasan was trying to make out. But she claimed that what she does now is harder than working a 12-hour shift with a 4-hour commute on top whilst being a student. That is just bullshit on the face of it, considering what she actually does.
It didn't even really bother me. Because that's what being a woman's all about. Yeah. You just kind of exist and then your life is easy. Yeah. Duh. Everybody knows that.
Dude, honestly, this is...
You really think people would do that? Denims,
I don't think I've watched a significant amount of Denims content for some time. I don't even know if I ever did watch that much of it. But, God, this is absolutely fucking insufferable to sit through. Am I just misogynistic? Am I just a misogynist? Is that what it is? I don't know. I don't think I am. I can watch some women and I'm like, okay, like, I don't have a problem with it. But this is just particularly infuriating and I can't quite put my finger on it. I don't know what it is. I'm racist also, true. Chud listening to a woman speak for 5 minutes challenge impossible. Okay.
having tweets leaving their target audience? I guess so. The problem on Twitter is that everyone takes everything as a personal slight against them because everyone on Twitter has like hardcore main character syndrome and they think every tweet is actually about them. When in reality, it's not always about you, man. It's actually not.
Okay. The reason this is so stupid is because you said something that people could relate to part of it. So, of course, you might be saying it's just about yourself, but if you're claiming that what you do is harder than working a 12-hour shift with a 4-hour commute, someone in a similar situation is going to look at that and think, well, I have worked similar circumstances, and I failed to see how what you doing your streaming is harder than what I'm currently experiencing, but you're saying that's the case for yourself. It doesn't really make sense and it doesn't add up. And that is one of the reasons that people got so fucking upset with what she said.
I know. I know. You're just lucky you're not down in the mines doing cybersecurity for a 6-figure wage. I know. It's fucked up, man. Fucked up. Okay, I'm sure you guys are all thinking, what the fuck are you talking about, Denim? She's gone insane. Officially. It's over. Don't worry, guys. Not yet. Soon, but not yet. Now, what was the original offender? Was it a Keemstar? Mr. Keemers. I believe it was Mr. Keemers. Yep, drama alert coming in with the hardcore hot takes right now.
Wait a second. I don't even know if this is correct. I thought that that TC Brady guy tweeted out the clip, and that's what started off initially. No,
Chud, she misspoke. Her viewers who watch her content for them, it's harder than a 12-hour shift with a 4-hour commute.
No, surely not. Come on.
Extra crispy. Lol.
Surely she hasn't gotten a fundamental detail of this wrong when she wants to talk about it. There's no way. There's absolutely no way. I do not believe it. Right, let's have a look. Maybe I'm wrong. Listen, I'll take the L if I'm wrong. I don't actually know. I heard that it was from a different source. Drama alert. Why is drama alert not popping up? I do follow it. Yeah, I do follow it. Okay. When did they tweet their clip out then? Let's have a look. God, they tweet so fucking much. It's ridiculous. They're on that that grind, the Twitter grind, aren't they? When was this? 8:44 p.m. Okay, I'll take the L. Hey, listen, I'll take the L. I'll happily take the L. Denims is correct. Damn, Denims is right. Fair play. I'll take the L on that straight away. It was actually Keemstar Drama that tweeted this out first. 8:44 p.m. And then TC Brady's tweet was at 8:52. Damn. No! Denims won. No! To be fair, when I saw this, I was in the midst of a severe issue, okay?
Okay, that's
I
mean, this one got more attention and more views. And this is the one that Hasan looked at.
$5 from Germ70. Honestly, we should outlaw streaming since it's like picking cotton in the field from what I have been told.
Thank you very much for the super chat. Yeah, one thing I mean, this is splitting hairs. It's not that big a deal. It's fair to think that this is Keemstar, but it's not Keemstar. There's a trans person called Olivia that actually runs Drama Alert. But it is true that this is what got tweeted out first. But this is the one that I think caused more of the attention and stuff. I think most people saw this one, and I think this is what Hasan got so enraged with on stream, is this particular tweet. So yeah, okay. I'll take the L though, because it is true that this is the tweet that came out first. Anyway, there we go. Let's continue. Hopefully it's the only L I'm going to take in this fucking segment.
Let us begin from the beginning, shall we? It is time to start. So we must begin where all things begin. On the Drama Alert Twitter. Now, the Drama Alert people, aka Keemstar, tweets out, "No way, hasanabi," with 2 S's. I know he knows his name. I don't know why people do this. It's so stupid. Anyways, think streaming is harder than a real job.
Yes.
As you guys can imagine, why people are mad on the internet.
Real job can be gruesome. A real job can make you very tired, but a real job doesn't suck the soul out of you. You know what I mean? In the same way that 9 hours of streaming absolutely will. But a real job doesn't suck the soul.
People are mad on the internet.
Real job can be gruesome. A real job can make you very tired, but a real job doesn't suck the soul out of you. You know what I mean? In the same way that 9 hours of streaming.
Is it just me? Is it just me? Or can you hear me when I drink? Am I a hypocrite? Did you hear that? Okay, well, I don't want to be a hypocrite on this. I hate it when people haven't got a noise gate installed. And listen, I used to do this when I was a smaller streamer. I recognised that but then I realised how bad it sounded. And then I've got a noise gate now, so you can't hear little sounds like that normally. But it's so crazy to me. Like, that stuff would just wind me up. I wouldn't be able to fucking deal with that if, like, the streamer I was watching constantly was making these little sounds that you could hear like that. But maybe I'm just sensitive to it and get too annoyed by it. But maybe I just hate women. But I don't know. To me, that's really irritating, and I'm just wondering if other people feel the same way about it.
Absolutely will. So, yes, a real job can be gruesome. A real job can
this was the 20-second clip that was posted. There's no way that there was more to this conversation, right? Right? No, surely he had a 20-second segment. As you guys know, Hasan is very famous for getting his points out in a short, concise manner.
Okay, that's wonderful.
We all know this
but
to
how
be
do I
true,
make
of
money
course.
off oppressed people?
Back from the K-hole.
Hey, Voltage Mike, they with $5.
Surely.
My good friend.
So, some fucking losers tweeting the same old.
Uh-oh.
Why is he following me? So.
Uh-oh. Willie Mack's on the case. This guy makes shit up for 9 hours a day, and his commute to work is walking into his 5th bedroom in his $3 million mansion, but somehow a real job is hard. Lamafao.
Oh, some fucking losers tweeting the same old. Why is he following me? Stop following me. Ew. Sorry, the guy who made this quote tweet, this guy makes shit up for 9 hours a day. His commute.
Every little detail of this is just irritating me. What is wrong with me? Am I alone on this? Like, the little comment on the fact they're following you, it's just like, shut the fuck up and talk. Who cares about that, man? I just get enraged by it. But I don't get, I guess I do get enraged with what fellas say too, but it's just particularly irritating for me with this.
You have to work is walking into his 5th bedroom. Somehow a real job is hard. LMFAO. Bruh. Anyways. Hasan quote tweets post a full, I guess, clip.
Sniff. You'll hear that sniff. Annoying.
He also didn't even need to clarify shit.
Clearing the throat, also annoying.
He said it doesn't suck the soul out of you the same way that ... that leaves the door open to other jobs sucking the soul out of you in other ways. Exactly. He even calls it a real job over and over again. Doesn't that mean because he knows it's a privilege to be
Okay. But again, and this is the problem we're going to run into with this whole take, is even in Hasan's full context of what he's saying, he is still, in my opinion, erroneously comparing his job to a regular sales job, when what he's actually comparing it to is his own experience, which is when he was a nepotism hire for the Young Turks working in their fucking sales department for ads, which is an extremely different experience. So he's using that as a comparison point when actually what people are going to be looking at that and thinking is, well, that's not what a normal sales job is like, right? That isn't a regular job like going and grinding your guts out, doing cold calls for fucking hours and hours a day at a normal sales company is.
streaming successfully. Yeah. So let's watch it.
What leftist isn't excited to see a train?
What does that mean? What does that mean? Okay. And then there's this. It's wild how this completely out of context clip made its way to Twitter.
Well, it's because I don't think she's got a noise gate installed. And it's there as well. Dude. She must have the gain turned down a bit. But it's like right there. You don't need the mic to be that close to your mouth. You can have it like round here. And it will find you. Right? You don't need. Why do you need it to be that close to your fucking mouth so you can hear every single sound you make? It makes me think that what people are saying in chat are right. Yeah, well, a couple of people have pointed that out. It could be because it's dude. I'm getting into schizo-misogyny now. You guys are pushing me to schizo-misogyny. Is it that those sounds are what weirdos in the audience want to hear? Is there something in that maybe? Is that crazy? Am I being a schizo-misogynist, or is that actually a fair analysis? I don't even know anymore. I'm losing it. I'm losing it over here.
Twitter so fast. I was talking about how much a 9-hour stream eats away at my social battery and how I can't socialize afterward, comparing it to my sales job before. I recognize how fortunate I am every day.
No.
So are we just going to completely ignore the fact that Hasan's sales job was actually like a proper sales job and wasn't a nepotism hire, selling ad space or whatever, or whatever the fuck it was? I don't know the exact nature of it, but, you know, working in sales and marketing in the ad department of the Young Turks. You know, I talked a bit about it yesterday, but in a normal sales job, right, there's an expectation that you are constantly working and are constantly making calls. You normally have targets for the amount of calls you make per day and also how many hours you're speaking on the phone. And that flexes up and down. So if you make more calls, it's expected you're going to be on the phone less. But if you on the phone less, it's expected you make more calls because you're trying to get that talk time up, right? You know, it's not like, I mean, again, because Hasan is not fucking laying it out clearly. Maybe he has at some point somewhere, but I can only imagine. But I can't imagine it's the same sort of dynamic where you've got that expectation that you're, you know, expected to work in the same way some sort of sales peon would. That sounds incredibly autistic.
Okay, that's wonderful.
Well, it's because they want, you know, they want their value for money of your labor, don't they?
11 euros from Gooba Gabba. I think this tiredness may also have to do with the fact these streamers don't do any physical activities.
Very true, I agree. I feel that myself.
Can make a difference.
Thank you very much for the 11 euros. Appreciate it. You know, someone tweeted something out about this, and I retweeted it because it's like, yeah, this person's bang on the money in what they're saying. But yeah, if you work a normal sales job, I mean, maybe some of you in chat have worked a normal sales job and you recognize that, like, yeah, of course, it's not just dossing about all day and making a couple of calls to fucking clients you already work with. Like, my guess, would it be like maybe selling TYT ads into Facebook and social media platforms, something like that? Maybe? I don't know. But in any case, regardless of what the ins and outs and the nuts and bolts of the job are, I just refuse to believe that Hasan knows what it's like to work an actual sales job where you've got hard targets, you've got managers breathing down your neck, you've got expectations of how much calls and talk time you should be making per day, you know, etc. But yeah.
No, social battery wise, unless you're in retail, unless you're in fucking retail, it's very different. You're out of.
I started the hype train. Thanks, see, poggers, trains. Did you see Ryan Beard even laid into Hasan? Okay, I'm gonna say something. I know I shouldn't be making enemies in the content space. Not that I'm making an enemy out of Ryan Beard, but more importantly, I'm making an enemy out of YouTubers. Okay? Fuck you guys. Okay? YouTubers, I swear to God, do not work.
Yellow heart, yellow heart, yellow heart.
Every single YouTuber that I am friends with anyways, they're like, oh yeah, I guess I have to make a video again. I'm like, when did you post your last video? And they're like, oh, it posted like a month ago, but I recorded it 3 months ago. I'm like, so what have you been up to? Nothing. Are you kidding me? Go fuck yourself. Excuse you, okay? Excuse you. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. They're working smarter, not harder. That is the truth, okay? That's true. That is true.
I mean, I'm sure there's YouTubers like this, but what grounds does she have to stand on when she streams, you know, taking aside the hour start screen she does, 3 hours, maybe 4 hours a day, 5 days a week? Even if this is true, she hasn't got a fucking leg to stand on. And that is actually the opposite. Like, the norm in YouTube is putting out content regularly. That's quite telling, because I'd presume that she is probably friends with like lefty content creators that have got massive Patreons because they're spreading the revolution and don't have to worry about putting out regular content, right? Yeah, look at someone like Turkey Tom. You know, Turkey Tom is regularly putting out high quality edited videos on his channel and on his second channel now as well. You know, he does do stream segments on there, but he also does edited videos on his second channel too. And yeah, he's got help and he pays people to do stuff. And it's not to say that, you know, he's like, but at the end of the day, like this narrative of, oh, YouTuber putting a video out every couple of months or every month or something is just bullshit. That's not the norm. The norm for a YouTuber is you've got to regularly put out content and grind to actually fucking make the magic happen. Yeah, her big point is she's got friends that are also lazy. Wow, amazing. What a shocker. What a fucking shocker.
Yeah, that's honestly, it's true. But I am so jealous. I'm so jealous that they get to work like really hardcore for like a month and then not have to work, like not have to post.
Yes, exactly, Jimsy. Papa Meat said this perfectly. No one forced Hasan to take a multi-million-dollar exclusivity contract with Twitch that has him streaming 9 hours a day. Hasan has got the ultimate ability to argue terms on contracts and argue what he wants to do. He likes streaming long hours. He said as much himself. He even streams when he goes on fucking holiday. It's clear that he enjoys it. And he's got a complete flexibility to say and push back if he has got a contract, renegotiate it, whatever the case may be. You know? Whereas someone who wants to work a job, you don't have much choice about the hours worked unless you're like some sort of high-flying person with lots of experience and knowledge. Normally, you're going to be looking at working 37 and a half, 40 hours a week, you know, and that's it. You don't get the choice. You don't get the flexibility. And again, this is another point that I made yesterday, is that when people are talking about this, they don't take into account that, yeah, there's challenges of streaming, but there's so many benefits. There's so many benefits that go beyond what a normal job has, so it makes it completely irrelevant of these issues you've got. So you just shouldn't really make the comparison. You should just talk about it in its own terms and leave it at that if you don't want fucking people to kick off about it, right? Whereas Hasan has got complete control over what he does. You know, and also, if he doesn't like the contract, he can just knock it on the head. And I know that Twitch are ending contracts anyway, and he can just set whatever hours he wants. He could, you know, he could do, if he wanted, he could do 4 hours a day, 5 days a week, and still make a shitload of money doing that if he wanted to. You know, being self-employed comes with an absolute raft of benefits, including ultimate flexibility. And again, it doesn't mean that you can just do nothing. You can't just stream 1 hour a month. Like, you need to have some consistency in your schedule to make it work. But that flexibility is fantastic. You know, particularly for me having kids, it means that like I can stream earlier today. I can go pick my kids up after that. No problem. And I really value that. And I'm really appreciative of that, you know. In fact, there's a funny tweet about this. I think, who was it? It was, I think it was the voice actor from GTA actually said something about this in reply to one of Hasan's tweets. I think it's more the talking for 9 hours straight with no breaks with Hasan, paying attention to other people in chat for all that time. It does actually burn out the social part of your brain. Okay. And if Hasan had just said that, then I don't think it would be a problem. If Hasan had just said, hey, do you know what, guys? I find it difficult going to my millionaire socialite parties after a stream because I feel a bit socially burnt out after streaming. I don't think anyone would care. I don't think anyone would say anything about it. It's the fact that he chose to compare it to fucking normal jobs. That's why people got so fucking upset with him.
Fluids. Yeah, I get hazard pay, but I bet she would cry the end of the world if she had to do it.
Thank you very much for the $10. And again, if Hasan really is that bothered by it, stop streaming so many fucking hours then. Bro, it's like, oh my God, I really hate doing this. Change it then. Stop streaming so many hours. You don't have to. No one's forcing you to. And if you're saying, oh, Twitch have contracted me to, well, fucking, I'm sure there's terms where you can leave the contract if you really want to. And you can negotiate it, or even come say, I'm going to leave and do my own hours. Or just say, do you know what? Fuck the contract. Twitch, fuck you. I'm going to stream 6 hours a day because I'm done with all this fucking 8 hour, 10-hour days. So, yeah, I just think this is complete cope in that he has got the ultimate control and flexibility. And I think that's why other people are going to get upset by that, because they're going and working an 8, 9, 10-hour shift. They don't get the option to not do that. They don't get to say to their boss, I don't really feel like it today. I'm only going to do 6 hours like you can do when you're a fucking streamer, right? This is why I get so annoyed when people defend him, because it's like, look, fundamentally, yes. It's true that streaming for a long period of time has an impact on your ability to engage socially. I know myself, because a party I was going to go to fairly recently, but I did like a 9-hour stream or something, and I just said, oh, I'm too tired, I'm not coming. I'm not going to bother. That does happen. But I just, you know, dude, I mean, I don't think I've ever spoken about it before because it's just such a pointless, stupid thing to complain about. It's like, who cares? Like, I just couldn't imagine, guys. Oh, my social batteries are drained. Just like working in a fucking retail or sales job. So I decided to set the party off last night. I don't know, it just comes across so badly, especially as the fact that he's a multi-millionaire. But yeah. I don't know. I think one of the problems, if you're a fucking wealthy person, right, if you don't want to cause people being pissed off with you, I think you probably lose the right to complain about some stuff in comparison to other jobs because people are not going to like it. That's just the way it is. That's another downside, I guess, of being a multi-millionaire successful streamer, is you don't get to gripe about things like fucking peons do.
Or worry about posting because they already have prepped all their videos for the next few months. It's like, you...
Yeah, he does.
No. Social battery wise, unless you're in retail, unless you're in fucking retail, it's very different. You're out of touch. I'm gonna die, dude. There's motherfuckers who are accountants in here, and they're misunderstanding what I'm saying. A real job does not expend your social battery in the same fucking way as someone who did a sales job, a real job. Okay, I'm telling you, as someone who did both, like. 9 hours of constant performance and people pleasing taps you out from social scenarios.
God, I just hate this kind of like, we're just playing the clip of the person to be like, dude, everything about this is just infuriating, right? It's just the ultimate sweeping for Hasan happening right now, being like, well, look, he's saying this clip here. Oh, look, it's Ogre Boy, the weird Hasan freak with the Hasan tattoo that said a retarded thing on Twitter. Fuck you.
Scenarios. After 9 hours of that, I could probably do fucking physical labor. It would not bother me. But I can't fucking do more social shit. That's my point.
I think the analogy that chat comes up with is really good here. Let's let it play.
This dude has got a literal fucking Hasan tattoo on him. And he goes around on Twitter defending Hasan at every turn. It's fucking insane.
There are obviously real jobs out there that are good comparisons. Service sector, people-pleasing jobs would be very similar. Those are like, I think, customer service type shit. But like if you're an accountant or if you're even like in sales, my interactions with clients was limited, way more limited than like constantly having to do this for 9 hours.
See, look, my sales, he's talking about working for TYT. Nepotism hire, his fucking uncle owns the company. That's not what a normal sales job is like at all. In a normal sales job, you're expected to either be communicating with customers or attempting to communicate with customers by calling repeatedly. That's not what a normal sales job is like.
With like a back and forth interaction for 9 hours. That's what like sucks your social battery and you just tap out after it. Yeah, think about it this way. Like, you give presentations for your job, right? Imagine
successful people are always liars about previous work. Yeah, of course. Of course. But you know, he's using this experience he's got, which is working a fucking what sounds like a total DOS, working for his uncle's company in the sales department, and you know, making a broader point about jobs generally.
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money
so stupid.
off depressed people?
Thank you very much for the $2. And even if it were true, let's say that we accepted this premise, that even if it was true,
welcome to Chud Nation.
That working, you know, doing a stream.
They have given
thank you for that.
35 gift subs in the channel.
That working a stream or doing a stream was comparable to like working a shift at a retail job or working a shift at a sales job. Let's say we agreed that that was true. You've also got a whole other raft of shit that you have to deal with in a normal job that you're just not going to have to deal with, you know, working in whatever sales job you had before. And on top of that, doing streaming. You know, the benefits of streaming just far outweigh any fucking downsides that you're going to experience, to the point where, to a lot of people, making the comparison is going to be insulting and annoying, and you're going to get blowback from it. And on top of that as well, hearing a streamer, a multi-millionaire streamer, complaining about fucking stuff like this is just going to rub you up the wrong way, because you're like, well, you're a fucking multi-millionaire streamer, bro. Stop whining about it. That's it.
Giving a presentation for 9 hours straight. It's like, after a while, you would be like, I don't want to talk ever again.
I think that is honestly the best analogy on the planet. Genuinely. Having a 9-hour meeting in front of tens of thousands of people.
What is this as well? This idea that streaming is the same thing as doing a presentation to 10,000 people, where presumably you're going to have to be stood up and talking and fucking doing a bunch of shit. Bro, it's just not the same thing. You know, I'm talking into a fucking camera here, and I've got screens here, and a bunch of people are in chat. It is substantially different. You know, I noticed it when I did this debate. You know, is like talking in front of a group of people, even if there's like 50 people there, say, it's a very different vibe to when you're talking to a fucking computer screen. Okay, Nicholas wants me to show you something. Let's have a look. Here we go. Hey guys, just like the Mama Max thing, I was present to help in the moderation. War's over, guys. You can stop begging streamers to care about it. After a private meeting hosted by Mutahar, we all agree to disagree and stop the ongoing feud. We'd like to encourage our fans to also ceasefire at Palestine, at Israel. This was actually, yeah, there's quite a funny tweet about this. Basically, Mutar was getting called out for tweeting about Hasan and not tweeting about Palestine. And then it was actual banger meme, I thought. God, are these little online freaks that have got these like watermelons and all of this fucking shit in their name? They're honestly the most, oh God, they're just despicable to me. I say just ship them all over to Gaza. That's what I reckon. Round them all up, ship them to Gaza, send them at the nearest IDF tank. If you care that much about your cause, here's a couple of grenades, run at that fucking tank. Good luck. Muta when it's time to tweet about Hasan versus Muta when it's time to tweet about Palestine. I love this idea that there's like, well, you've got to tweet about Palestine. And the funny thing about it too is that it's like you can just tweet about the conflict. You must tweet and agree with me. You must tweet and have the same take as me. Because if an influencer comes out with any sort of pro-Israel take, they get immediately fucking destroyed by these freaks and they just get absolutely shit on. So it's not just talk about the conflict, it's talk about the conflict and agree with me. And it's whether you know anything or not as well. And yeah. Yeah, let me help sort out the situation personally. I thought that was quite good. I thought that was a banger. Well, I think he did. I think he just said, like, yeah, it sucks. He's like, yeah, war sucks, man. But like, what do you want me to do about it? I'm not really, that's not my fucking area of expertise at all. But yeah, I thought that was quite a good meme. Anyway, thank you, Nicholas, for the banger meme. Appreciate you.
It's I mean, and also the reality is if you do anything for 9 hours straight, you'll be tired.
Okay, that's true. Okay, we got some ground there. That's good. Good.
An
yes,
NBA
correct.
arena holds 20,000 people. Now entertain those people for 8 hours? Yeah. Yeah.
That is true. But then here's the thing. Okay? If you are streaming for 9 hours a day, or you're doing a cushy sales job for 9 hours a day, or you're on the phone dialing numbers for 9 hours a day, or you're collecting bins for 9 hours a day, or you're shoveling shit out of a septic tank for 9 hours a day. Like, things can make you tired, right? But there's obviously some things that you'd rather do than others to make you tired, because some things that you do that make you tired fucking suck more than the other. So again, even with all this extra context taken into account, you can understand why people would listen to someone whose job it is to talk a bunch of shit for 9 hours a day, complain about it, and be like, hey, what the fuck, man? You know? And again, Hasan had just said, you know, I get a bit shattered after streaming, and at this party I had this issue. I don't think anyone would care that much. Maybe some people would. Maybe some people would still have a go at him. It's the comparison to regular jobs that people find annoying, and why people got so annoyed with this guy.
He's just saying that he's mentally exhausted. He's not even saying mental exhaustion. He's talking about social exhaustion. I mean, let's go over the... Which way do I want to go? Do I want to say what I said online that got me canceled, or do I...
Wait, what is this? Streaming actually gives you more damage than working with the chemicals the Joker fell into. I like that. It's good.
I want to say my opinions on this. We'll start with how I felt about this tweet. We'll go from here.
Okay. This... Dude. I love the fact that these people act like cancel culture doesn't exist, but the moment they get some pushback on a tweet, oh, I'm getting cancelled, guys. You're not getting cancelled. You're a dumb bitch and you got called out for it. Simple.
Here, and then I'll talk about my pseudo-cancellation.
Okay, fair enough. You're saying pseudo-cancellation. I'll give it that. Pause Andy. Pause Andy moment. Pause Andy.
I have said, really quickly, okay? I have said
wonderful.
so many times
But how
before,
do I make
I think
money
retail workers
off
should be
depressed
allowed to
people?
have a gun that they can use. They just have to warn the target, give them a 5-minute warning first. And I am...
Nicholas, listen, regular viewer, regular super chatter. I'll read it out even though it's beneath $3. Frogan isn't half the activist Aaron Bushnell was. Okay.
100% serious, because retail, service work, food service, that is the hardest work on the fucking planet, and no one will convince me otherwise. Okay? I'm sorry. Retail workers should not have to deal with the fucking Karens getting mad and screaming at them and trying to get them fired because they're upset that their fucking makeup bottle was $2 more expensive than it was last time. I've said it before. I will say it again. I have nothing but respect for retail workers, and that is why I don't give a fuck what type of service I get from a server, for example. I will...
Maybe she'll bring the tweet up. And obviously, look, at the end of the day, you know, I don't want to split hairs over the hardest exact work. I understand where she's coming from. You know, I do think there's obviously harder work jobs out there. But I think, you know, in this comment, what she's trying to get at is just, you know, she's trying to say how hard service work is. But I just find it very weird that, like, she's saying all of this when her original take, she's trying to say, oh, I was just saying this from my own experience. But it's like, it just sounds absurd on the face of it. As someone who has worked 12-hour shifts with a 4-hour commute whilst going to uni full-time, streaming is easily the hardest job I've had. Easily the hardest job I've had. You are talking about experiences which other people can relate to and are saying, no, what I'm doing is harder. And then you go in, well, it's my experience. And it's like, yeah, and people are saying, well, that sounds like bullshit. Because they're probably doing something similar now and are thinking, that sounds like fucking bullshit. The post-stream social exhaustion is so real. I don't know how people do it every day. And again, after streaming an hour of someone else's videos, she goes live for 3 hours, maybe 4. 5 days a week, and that's it. It's such bullshit lies. And it got deleted for some reason.
Always tip 20%. Always. Because I don't care if you're like out of it. I don't need a fake smile. I don't need fake happiness. I just want to get my stuff. That's good enough for me. As long as you just show up to my table and say like, okay, what do you want? Blah, blah. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, great. I've had servers that are like, this is their face. What can I help you with? I don't give a single fuck. At all. There is nothing more exhausting than faking a smile and a happy voice when you are not mentally there. And
so, okay. Yes. You're saying this now when you've got shit on for your bad take. Okay? Because it left the audience or something. But she is getting to I mean, I think she's doing it because she's trying to obfuscate the controversy and trying to act like she never said any different. And this is what she thought all along when she never said that in her original take. But one of the big differences and one of the reasons it's so silly to compare is because with a normal retail or kind of like service job, is one of the reasons it's so emotionally exhausting is because you always have to be nice. The best you get is you can be a bit terse or firm with a customer without getting in trouble. That might still be a risk, right? But you can't just tell a customer to do one, to fuck off, to leave, or anything like that, because you might get in trouble for it, even if they're being completely and totally unreasonable. It's expected that you always present a professional image. You know, I have experienced this where you've got a customer who's being totally rude and unreasonable, and obviously you're only human. It has an emotional impact on you because you know, someone in your face shouting and screaming is very unnerving, and you're like, what the fuck, right? But you have to maintain a professional standard and image. And you have to, you know, you go out the back, don't you? When you've had a shitty customer, you're like, fucking wanker. What a dickhead. What a fucking moron. The difference is with streaming, you can do that on stream. And in fact, it's entertaining. It's entertaining to do it. So you can let out all of that fucking emotion that you normally would have to withhold until you're behind the fucking door in the staff area. You can do it all on stream. You can soy the fuck out on stream. You can even say it to the person. You can even say it directly to the person. You're a retard, you're a moron, fuck off. Leave. Stop watching me. Never come back. You can't do that. In a real job, or you probably lose your job or get written up for it. God, it's just so frustrating to hear Denims of all people say this stuff when they had a shit take in the first place and they're a fucking work shy bitch.
Again, I'm just gonna tip 20%. I just listen.
Yeah, you can even if you don't want to do that, you can just block them. You can literally just fucking block them and never speak to them again. Can't do that in real life, but a customer's in your physical space talking to you in a fucking rude way.
I'm not gonna make you feel worse because you got a shitty tip. Like, you have to do some crazy shit, like maybe throw the food into my face for me to be like, maybe I'm not going to give 20%.
It's about time Denims and Hasan got cancelled. They have so many pets and no guns for them. It's like they don't care about the Constitution.
Honestly, yeah, you're right.
Also,
yeah,
you know, people talk about, oh, Hasan's working 9 hours without a break, right? Again, something Hasan chooses to do. But shift work, split shifts. I've been lucky that I've never had to work split shifts before, but I know people that have. And that is fucking miserable, man. You go to work for the lunch shift, right? And you work for like, 4 hours then. And then you get to go home for a couple of hours. And you got to go back in the evening and do another 5 or 6 hours. Bro, it's fucking shit. It's totally shit. Your day is fucked because you don't have an evening with something to do with. You've got a bit of time in the morning and then a bit of time in the afternoon to yourself. But the whole day is dedicated to going to fucking work. And that is true as well. Hasan does take breaks, doesn't he? Yeah. Yeah, split shifts do suck. And there's some industries where if you work in it, it's completely unavoidable. You cannot get around it. Like the restaurant industry often uses split shifts. So yeah, I just think that like there's lots of different angles where a lot of these takes. I mean, Denims is more or less saying what I agree with, but I don't think I think she's doing it to obfuscate her own shit take rather than like a genuine expression of what, the deal is. But yeah.
I host FDA audits and being on that for like 9 to 12 hours a day is so fucking draining. I get home, I have no juice left at the end of it. Yeah. Now, again, you have to assault me to not have a tip. Yeah, like you have to. I'm not saying, to be clear about saying everyone else needs to tip 20%. That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying, me personally, I have the ability to do so, and I don't go out to eat that often. So when I do, I would like to tip 20% because I know that there's lots of people that don't tip 20%. There's lots of people that tip fucking 5%. So if I can, I would like to. That's just my stance. To continue. Service workers and food service workers and retail workers, I have nothing but respect for them. And I do not think it is okay that they have to deal with the bullshit that they have to deal with. I'm pretty sure like once a month, I make a tweet about how retail workers and service workers should be able to do whatever the fuck they want to do, as long as they're doing their job. And there's always people that get mad at me. There was like a service worker who like had a
bro, like she's saying all this shit about the tweet. Okay, did anyone watch this? Does she actually show the tweet that she deleted or not? Does she actually show the tweet that she deleted or not in this whole stream? Does anyone know? Like, I don't know, man. It just seems so crazy to me that she's talking so much about how much she loves service workers, and she's not even contending with the thing that she said so far. Like, where's the tweet? Your tweet was retarded, yes. And that's probably why you deleted it, because you realized it was a real bad look. And now you're just running damage control. Oh, yeah, I really care about service workers, though. If you really cared about service workers, you wouldn't say that your fucking life is harder than an experience which you claim to have, that other people currently have a similar thing of. You wouldn't say that, would you? You might say, yeah, streaming a long day is fucking... I mean, I don't know how she can experience it. She barely streams. But yeah, streaming a long day is tiring, sure. But she made a specific comparison to something she claimed to have experienced, which was a 12-hour shift with a 4-hour commute. Anyway, yeah, it's annoying. What's this other tweet? Yeah, it feels like she's coping and trying to obfuscate how bad the take was. I don't know if we're going to watch all of this. If anyone knows and you're like, oh, actually, at this timestamp she shows the tweet, then sure. But it just feels like she's doing all this kind of prefacing, you know, but if she does show it, maybe she does later, but in order to kind of cover up how shit her fucking take was on this. What is this? This is from talks about my personal experience about how taxing streaming is versus other jobs. My job is harder. Streaming is actually really easy. Incredible sight. My apologies for thinking that my tweet wouldn't leave the target audience. You replied to a Hasan Piker tweet. What is this retardation? If you want to gripe and not have fucking people moan about it, okay, maybe try putting it in a format where it's less likely to fucking get spread everywhere, like on Twitter. Dude, these people are so infuriating. It's a public account.
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
Denims is just spitting out absolute waffle, utter shite, rubbish. She is trying to put out the fire in her community with this dross.
Thank you very much, in Austrian Pater, for the 333. There is absolutely no way this is true. Prove this to me and I'll PayPal you 5k. J-Stalk. Hey, look at J-Stalk, eh? I wonder who's more misogynistic sometimes, because I see J-Stalk constantly shitting on women for content, I must say. It's kind of endless with this guy, you know? He did it with Cutie Cinderella, and now he's doing it with Denims. There is absolutely no way this is true. Prove this to me and I'll PayPal you 5k. I misunderstood this when I first saw it, because I thought what he was saying was, prove to me that streaming is harder than the experience that you had, which I thought, I don't know how you would prove that really. But I think what he means is prove to me that you were working a 12-hour shift with a 4-hour commute while you were going to uni, because that just sounds absurd on the face of it, right? I think that's what he's saying. Yeah, exactly. Look, I don't know, whatever you want, bro, is on the money here. Streamers really want to find some way to make it look like they work just as hard as normal people, instead of just admitting they have it easy. The way I look at it is like, whilst there are challenges, being a content creator and being a streamer is like kushti. Do you guys know what kushti means? Have you heard of that term before? It's a bit of like a Britishism, so you might not know what it means. It means, oh, this isn't a very good definition. Good or enjoyable. Yeah, that kind of works, I guess, right? Good or enjoyable. But yeah, kushti. Got a kushti job. Got a kushti setup here. You know, it's just kind of like, yeah, it's kushti, isn't it? Right? Kushti. Cushy. Yeah, cushy. Maybe cushy. Yeah, cushy. Yeah. Cushy's the, maybe you might understand in America. Cushy. Yes. That's a brilliant way to describe it as far as I'm concerned. Because whilst I appreciate people might think easy, Cushy just, I think, is a better word. Like the vibe of that word is just, there's something about it, a certain je ne sais quoi to that word that I think perfectly sums up streaming, right? I'd say Kushti. Kushti or Cushy. Well, the thing is, someone made a really good point about this as well, right? Okay. And, well, the first part is my thought process, but this point about the cashier, I thought was a really good way of talking about it too, right? But the problem that you've got is, I think people are always going to be against you complaining about your plight as a streamer, because either you're in your initial stages where it's not working and you're trying hard to make it work. If you complain about it then, people are going to say, don't bother, just go and get a regular fucking job, okay? But then, if you're successful and you're making good money off of it and you complain about it, people are going to say, you know, don't bother. They're going to say, don't bother. If you don't like it, they're going to say, if you don't like it that much, go and get a regular job, right? And the reason for that is because of what a privilege and how cushy it is to be a content creator, that people aren't really going to kind of accept that, right? And the other thing as well is that a lot of the kind of hard work and grafting that you have to do early on in order to get somewhere, in terms of putting yourself out there, marketing, maybe doing longer streams or whatever, something like that, right? It's like a kind of, what's the opposite of diminishing returns? It's like the longer you go on, the more benefit that you get and the less that you have to worry about that stuff, right? Like, even now at my level, I'm not anywhere close to being a millionaire or anything like that, right? But I can just hit go live and I'll get like, you know, I'm well, going to confirm at the end of the month, but I'm like 1,000 viewer Andy now. And you just know that the viewers are very likely going to be there and you're going to be able to talk about whatever you want. And you know what I mean? It's like the pressure and the stress of like, oh my God, I need to be super concerned with chasing down the best possible thing. And I've got to have this topic and that topic lined up and da-da-da. I still do that to a degree, but it's nowhere near to like when you're like 100 viewer Andy and you're like, fuck, I've really got to make sure I've got lots of people watching to maximize the money and da-da-da. Do you see what I mean? So the longer you go on and the better that you become at it, the easier it becomes to do what you're doing, if that makes sense, right? So the more experience you get, the more straightforward it becomes. And it's like the opposite of diminishing returns. It's like, it's minishing. Do you see what I mean? But like with a cashier, it doesn't matter how good you get at it, right? You're still going to be a cashier, and that fucking sucks fundamentally. You just cannot get around that. You could be the best, most experienced cashier going, but you're still having to grind out an 8 or 9 hour day, taking shit from retards, right? Does that make sense? That was quite a good way of putting it, that I was like, yeah, that kind of hopefully explains it in a very clear way. Minishing returns. And this response here, then become a streamer. Like, this response is a good response if someone is saying, like, anyone could do this. You know, anyone could be a streamer. It's like, well, that's not true. Not anyone can be a streamer. And we see that from the tatters of multiple careers from hobbyists that haven't gone anywhere, right? Like, it's obviously not possible that everyone's going to be a streamer. There's certain fundamental aspects that you need to have in order to be successful being a streamer. But that doesn't really speak to the comparison between being a streamer and doing a regular shitty job, right? It doesn't really help speak to that. Right? That's the long and the short of it as far as I can see. Anyway, watch a bit more of this denim stream, but I'm not going to lie. I am finding this very difficult to watch. This is a very tricky watch, I must say.
Drive-through, and the drive-through person was being a fucking asshole and like refusing to pay or something. It was a bunch of bullshit. And the service worker said, okay, go fuck yourself. And he closed the window because this is someone that's like refusing, like that guy wanted him to grovel. And I stand with that guy. I stand with that service worker. Fuck that guy. You should not have to deal with people screaming at you as a job. That should not be a job. It should not be fair that you get to have customers coming in and day out screaming at you just so that you can close the service window and have your manager scream at you. That's not fair. And I think customers should be allowed to say, sir, I don't care what you're going through. If you're gonna behave this way, we are not going to serve you. Next in line, please.
I mean, there's a balance to be struck here, right? Between, like, if a customer's being particularly obnoxious and particularly rude, that you can say, look, I'm trying to help you here, but if you can continue to talk to me in this way, I'm not going to be able to assist you. You know, we've got to have a mutual respect here. Happy to help you, but please, I'm doing my best I can to assist you with this matter, or something like that, right? Like, there's a way that you could be firm and stand up for yourself without telling someone to go fuck themselves, as annoying as that customer might be, right? So, yeah, I don't know. It sucks. It sucks that you got to put a fake smile on. I think you should be able to be assertive at moments when someone's taking it too far. But that is just the unfortunate nature. As they say, the customer is always right. If you've ever worked in retail, you know that that's total bullshit. Okay? I know that's bullshit. You know that's bullshit. But that's the kind of principle that you have to work with. Unless someone is taking it to an extreme. If someone's shouting and screaming and causing a scene, obviously, you know, at that point, you could probably ask them to leave and ask them to not come back and so on. But you know, if someone's just being a bit abrasive, a bit obnoxious, you kind of have got to manage that within your day-to-day.
You see the one where the guy in the car wash sprayed them through the window? I don't remember that. So that's where I am about service workers. That's where I am about retail workers, because it's like, it's the worst of both worlds. You have to do all this emotional labor, which, by the way, in society, people don't value emotional labor ever. And you have to put on this like fucking fake smile. You have to put on your fake customer service voice. You have to be nice no matter how rude a customer is. And then you can have dog shit coworkers, which nobody ever talks about that. The stress of having bad coworkers or asshole coworkers. And then you get to have a shitty manager. And for what? For garbage fucking pay. But that is also why I say, I think
if she thinks all of this, if this is her thought process on this, why did she say that for her, streaming is harder than working a 12-hour shift with a 4-hour commute? Like, this all just feels like cope to get around the fact, like, what she's saying is true. Like, of course, yeah, this is a true dynamic. I've worked retail. I know what she's talking about. But why have that take? It's just such a stupid take to have then, because you're kind of putting out a message which is opposite to what you're saying now. And now you got to do all this PR spin. Oh no, actually, I love retail workers. They've got it really tough, actually. Exactly. She's trying to get out of it, right? Rather than just say, look, guys, okay, I had a shit take. Of course, working a 12-hour shift with a 4-hour commute is harder than streaming. That's obvious, right? Of course, that's a stupid... I shouldn't have said that. It was a stupid thing to say. What I really meant was, and then go on and explain whatever you want to explain, but it's this kind of preloading it. Oh, I got cancelled because I had an opinion on the internet and I'm a woman. Oh, let me tell you how much I love service workers, guys.
Think that they should get paid more. Anyone here who doesn't work retail, anyone here who's lucky enough to work like a white-collar job, I don't know about you guys, but for me, I wouldn't take more money to do retail or to do service. Like, if I had to work at like an office for like $40 an hour, and it was like, hey, we'll pay you $45 an hour to work like a fast food line or like a drive-through fast food, I'd be like, no, I don't care. I don't want it.
I think that this is also, but the thing is like, I feel like this is a misunderstanding of what it's like to work in an office too. Right? Like, work in an office is, of course, like, I've done both. I've worked in an office, I've worked retail, okay? Working in retail has its own unique challenges and benefits, okay? Like, there is some benefit in, like, as much as you get shitty customers, engaging with nice customers is good. You know, having a good chat with someone and you have a bit of a laugh about it, you know, serving someone regular comes in that you speak to, you form a bit of a connection with them, and it's, you know, do you know what I mean? So it's like not all bad when it comes to the worst interactions are shit, sure. And there's other benefits, you know, I can't really think of them off the top of my head, but if I thought about it a bit, I'm sure I can think of other benefits of working in retail, right? And it's the same as working in an office, is that like, there are some benefits to working in an office, like not having to deal face-to-face with customers. You do see as a blessing when you first start working there, because you think of the worst experiences and you're like, oh man, fucking hell. Oh my God, dude. So glad I don't have to deal with the fucking guy that comes in that stinks of piss every fucking day to buy £5 top up on their mobile or whatever, right? But like the office politics that exist supersede any kind of retail store, right? Having to work amongst complete, like the fucking Game of Thrones. People in offices think they're their own personal Game of Thrones episode. It's fucking insane the way that people act in offices sometimes, right? And there's like, you know, often like with service work, it's like, okay, you've got to serve whatever customers come in a given day, burgers, whatever they want, Right, but you've got like targets and quotas that you've got to hit. You've got like reports that need to be done by a certain time, and if they're not, you're going to get in trouble for that and stuff like that. Like, there's a ton of shit you have to deal with working in office too. Right? I don't know. I just think this is a real underestimating of what it's like to work in an office, thinking white collar jobs are some sort of fucking DOS straightforward thing. Not like, yeah, there's benefits and downsides to both. And then you've got streaming over here, which, despite its downsides, which there are some, has got massive, overwhelming benefits that supersede the downsides of streaming and supersede the benefits of working in retail or an office or any other kind of job like that, really, right? And yet also, $40 an hour working in an office. What? What fucking office are you working at if you're making $40 an hour? That's crazy. Maybe at the upper, you know, the higher echelons of like the food chain of an office, you might be making something like that. But like, dude, working in an office, some places you'll get the same as you would work, like some places will pay minimum wage with maybe a bonus or something. But a lot of office jobs, in my experience, you're probably looking at, I don't know, equivalent 40, 50K, 60K per annum, maybe something like that. What was that? What's that as an hourly rate? My guys make 32 an hour for a 12-hour shift. Yeah, and some places do just pay minimum wage as well, yeah, for like the lower end echelon office jobs. Yeah, exactly. I just don't know what office you're working and making $40 an hour. That's crazy. That sounds like higher paying, not executive level, but like higher management or something maybe. I've dealt with office and retail jobs, and the office politics shit is so much worse because you're stuck working with these losers. Also, 40 an hour is insane. Yeah, exactly. Right? So I think she's kind of, you know, whilst like, some of her takes about, although I think she's trying to obfuscate a take to, you know, circumvent criticism for it, I think her takes on retail are fair and correct. But this comparison to office work is stupid, and she seems to think that they're paid some insane salary. Like $40 an hour, which just doesn't really match up to reality.
We'll pay you $50. I don't want it. No, I like the ability to enjoy my job and not want to die afterward. I'd like to keep my sanity. I'd like to keep my sanity, man. I'd like to. Okay, I would like to. When you have Asmongold going live to defend Hasan, you know you have a pretty basic take. Did Asmongold really defend him? Wow. That should be evidence enough. Asmongold is like the fucking most normie motherfucker. Just takes like, honestly, genuinely, the most normie positions most of the time. Or leans on conservatives. If he himself is going on this stance. If I had to go back to Chick-fil-A, I would end it all. Yeah. Uh-huh.
God, dude, I can't bear it, man.
And so...
It's so irritating.
I have said over and over again. I just got my first job where I don't even get to get close to being face-to-face to a customer. I would never go back. Yeah. When I say that streaming is like the hardest job I've had to do.
Here we go.
I'm comparing it to what my degree is. My degree is in accounting. Accountants are just going to sit at their fucking computers like a bunch of nerds, putting together some stupid ass sheets.
Bro, what accounting was she doing? Yeah, if you're a lazy accountant, maybe that might be true. But, you know, accountants, It feels like these people are interpreting it as like, if I was doing this other job but was being really lazy and never did anything,
that's wonderful.
yeah, obviously
But how do I
streaming
make
is going to be
money
harder than
off
that.
depressed
But if
people?
you're an actual
$10
accountant
from Puzzle
working, doing
Sucker.
work for
She
people
looks
and
and
getting
sounds like
clients
what
and dealing with their
Kettles wishes they do.
finances, yeah, listen, do not hire Denims for accounting. You'll never get anything done, okay? Like, what on earth is she on about? Nerd doing spreadsheets. I don't know, is it just different in America, maybe? Like, in the UK, you might have an accountant that will deal with, you know, very remedial stuff, but they, you know, like, for example, they do spreadsheets of payroll or something. But then they've also got other tasks they need to complete as well. Like, for example, you know, they have to communicate with the government and figure out taxation and report things correctly. And if they get it wrong, it can mean they get in big trouble because they fucked up some reporting on some tax thing or something. You know, I don't know much about accounting because I've never done it and don't have much experience or knowledge of people that do it. But this idea that they're just nerds sat around looking at their computers all day and therefore streaming is hard, it just sounds fucking retarded. She's just self-reporting how bad she was at a study. I mean, yeah, that's what it sounds like. She doesn't know what she's talking about. Yeah, I just do not believe that like an average accountant has got it easier than like a streamer does. My brother is an accountant and it's tax time now, so he's working 14 hours a day and dealing directly with how much people have to pay or get back, and they're not always cool with that number. Yeah, I mean, let's say you're an accountant and you've got like clients you're dealing with. I can imagine that's very insufferable because they'll send you all of their information and you put it into the
Okay, that's
system and you go,
wonderful.
right,
But how do I make money?
just filed it with
off depressed people?
HMRC or the
$10 from
IRS.
Vicky. Nah, accounting has many things you can get into trouble for. She full of crap.
Thank you very much for the $10. You go to the client and you go, right, your tax bill is £20,000, and they're like, what? I don't want to pay that. Can't you do anything? Can't you fucking? And it's like, no, that's the information you've given me. I put it into the system, and I've done everything I can to, you know, take into account expenditure and stuff, and that's what you got to pay. That's it. But again, like, sure, I think that accounting, there's probably elements of that which are going to be more straightforward than, say, a retail job and easier. But the idea that, like, streaming is harder than accounting, unless you're like,
Okay,
unless
that's
you're like
wonderful.
super
But how do
successful
I
and
make
wealthy and
money
you've kind of
off
got a lot of
depressed people?
clients, you've got people working under you, maybe then it might be more cushy.
Bottom line
But
is
yeah, I don't really
everyone,
buy it.
Everyone's job is hard because it's your job. We would love to do what we want and get paid for it. That's what streaming is.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the $4.99. Hi, accountant here. Getting information clients is a fucking nightmare. They won't even give you everything so you can do taxes. People cry when they hear the numbers. Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
I
that's
just think this is
wonderful.
kind of
But how
downplaying
do
it.
I make money off depressed people?
$5 from Strictly Patrick. Tell me you have no idea about real world.
Thank you for the
without telling me.
$5.
The fact that there are people who work 9-to-5 jobs at home, all right, with like one kind of annoying manager, but when they clock out, and they don't have to do any emotional labor. That's a pretty relatively easy job. After finally getting to a manager.
What is this idea? Like, this is so out of touch, yeah. Like, I'm sure there's like a couple of people who have got a super cushy job that they can do from home or something. And maybe there's a few people like that. But like most people that work from home and have got a 9-to-5 job, like, I don't even know if it's true that it's 9-to-5. You know, I've worked people who have got that sort of setup and they end up having to do more work and answer emails out of hours and stuff like that, or they get a fucking bit of a telling off from the boss and stuff like that. But yeah, this feels like a Hollywood idea of like what a work from home thing is, or like this sort of job where you just clock out and that's it and you go home. God, this it just, you know, I mean, listen, I'll be honest with you. I've never had that set up. So I can only relate to working retail or working in an office because that's what I've done personally. But I would presume that if you're working from home doing a 9 to 5, this narrative that it's like you clock out and that's that and you don't have to worry about it, I find that very hard to believe. And you'll have to say for yourself, if you've got experience of this, what you think of it. I can't speak on it because I've not experienced it. But I just struggle to believe that this would be the norm of like working from home in this fashion.
Zero position. I always try my hardest to face the brunt of customer hatred so that anyone.
And also the other thing as well, the other problem with like working from home is that there is an expectation. I sort of alluded to this, and I've seen this myself. You know, obviously my ex was like a regional manager that some days would work from home, but like the end of the day comes and it's still expected that you continue to answer and stuff. Whereas like working in retail, once the shop is closed and you've closed up for the night and you go home, that's it. You don't have to, you very rarely have to be concerned or worry about it because your work is at the store and the store is currently closed. You know, I think there's a name for that. And obviously there's times where you might be expected to work overtime and stuff, and that maybe sucks, you know, and, oh, can you just stay an extra 30 minutes? That kind of pressure. But the problem sometimes with these sorts of setups is, yeah, you're constantly expected to be available and on. And and it's expected that you just do a bit extra. Or, you know, just answer a few more emails, something like that. Yeah, there's always extra stuff that you're expected to do. And again, it just speaks to the fact that there's upsides and downsides with all of this. And it's okay to talk about that. But when you're streaming, especially at the level Denims is, I just think it's pretty fucking audacious to moan about it and make comparisons to normal jobs when it's so cushy.
$4.99 from YOLO Swag 42069. Hey Chud, just starting my day as a programmer.
Thank you, YOLO Swag, for the $5.
Watch streams on my phone. Keep up the hard work.
Under me doesn't have to deal with it because at that wage they shouldn't have to. You are a fucking hero, man. You're a fucking hero, and the world needs more people like you. Because as someone who's worked a job that I had shitty coworkers and a shitty manager, hilariously enough, the customers were actually the best part of the job.
It's funny how idiots who aren't capable of being for a streamer telling a streamer isn't a real job in the entertainment industry. I mean, sure, listen, right? I do understand that somewhat. Like, I've had it before where people are like streaming, like it's not even streaming isn't a real job. It's like they're acting like you being a successful content creator is irrelevant and pointless. It's like go and get a job. It's like, why would I get a job? I earn enough money doing this that I don't have to, so I'm quite happy with what I'm doing, right? Like there are stupid comments that people make about it. But in the context of what we're dealing with here, I just don't really see how that's relevant because these people are not saying and arguing purely on the principle of that. They're comparing it to regular jobs, and people are getting upset with that because they're not taking into account the benefits of doing this. They're just pointing out the negatives and making the comparisons to the negatives of like normal jobs, when normal jobs have got a whole load of fucking downsides they're not taken into account. Like, I just feel like people are arguing with points that aren't even necessarily being made, right?
So again,
anyway, let's get through this. I want to move on to...
I genuinely will stand by the statement that like retail is easily worse than streaming.
Okay.
On difficulties, I would say retail is a little bit harder just because, or like not a little bit, but I would say it's significantly harder because you have to deal with a manager and coworkers in addition to the customers, and you can't just tell them to all fuck off or you'll lose your job.
Okay.
And you get none of the privileges of being a streamer. Working from home.
Okay.
Making your own schedule.
Okay.
Potentially, not always, but potentially being able to make significantly more money. Because there's lots of streamers who stream to hundreds of viewers and they make as much as a fucking fast food worker would make. But
okay.
I used to work at Chipotle, no thanks. God. I worked in retail. The managers I had were insanely horrific people. Dude.
But again, like these things that are being pointed out, I feel like she's acting like this is unique to retail when there's lots of jobs you have to deal with this shit. Not just service work.
Some retail managers, like, they're straight from hell, man. They're straight from fucking hell. Oh, and somebody else was talking about how women who do retail and food service have to deal with getting sexually assaulted for $2.13 an hour. pretty dog shit, not gonna lie. Women in the service, I found it. Women in the service industry being
Okay,
sexually
that's
assaulted for
wonderful.
$2.13 an
But
hour.
how do
I had
I
to
make
fully palm
money
my
off
butt in
depressed
front of several
people?
people
The
at the
only
poker
benefit that I
tournament,
can
and I
see
had to justify
working a
grabbing
normal
him by the
job
collar
is
and pushing
being
him on the ground, and
anonymous.
then having other girls
Not
get mad at
being
me for
embroiled
jeopardizing
in
their tips.
online drama or having to deal with haters constantly sounds pretty good.
Well, the thing is, crispy bacon. Is that a reference to the earlier stuff? Anyway, thank you for the 420. Yeah, sure. No, there's a benefit there that's worth pointing out. The thing that I would say, though, that is, I'm not disagreeing necessarily, but I think one thing that's worth bearing in mind is that that has changed, though. It used to be that you could just work a normal job and you could be anonymous, and that is fine. But now we've got this dynamic where you can get recorded doing something embarrassing where you're drunk. You become the star of the day on the internet and you lose your job over it. I think that social media has actually taken away the ability for people to be anonymous and go about their life. And you might think, well, just don't post on social media. I mean, I feel that's an excessive standard, but sure, even if you went down that route with it, you can be out drunk doing something, get recorded, something that's embarrassing, not even necessarily bad, but just embarrassing or dumb, or you say some stupid racist shit, and then you get, or funny racist shit, and you get blasted online and lose your job over it. So, you know, even that is being rescinded on in normal jobs where you don't have that same level of anonymity. But yeah, fundamentally, I agree. Normally, most people, the vast majority of people that work a regular job can stay anonymous and don't have to worry about broad public scrutiny. And yeah, sure, that's a good thing.
I couldn't even be mad at them because it's sadly true. Like, on the topic of difficult jobs, I also think it is important. And the sad thing is, the conversations that I'm trying to have and the conversations Hasan is trying to have is not conversations that like we're trying to say, hey, people don't respect streamers enough because their jobs are really hard. No, we're just trying to talk about our experience to our community. That's it. We're just having a conversation with our community members and being like, yeah, the one thing that really sucks about this is blah, blah, blah. In the same way that like, just because you have friends who work worse jobs than you, it doesn't mean you never get to complain. If you work in an office and you have like a fucking neck breather manager, it doesn't mean you never get to complain to your job ever because your friend works construction.
Off depressed people.
But the thing is like in that dynamic between like working people, you'd have a shared affinity and understanding. And it's classic, you know, you're griping about shit at your work, your friend gripes about shit at their work, and you know, you kind of go, well, you know, or at least they don't have to lug bricks around all day. And they're like, yeah, well, at least they don't have to deal with some fucking retarded blah, blah, blah. Do you know what I mean? You have an affinity and a banter about it, right? Do you see what I mean? I think it's, you know, working class people find a way to communicate with each other that is mutually respectful in a way that takes into account you've both got your own unique sets of challenges, right? Yeah, go to any pub or bar and people are constantly moaning about their work and everyone's happy with it because you're like, you know, you kind of got an affinity with each other and you understand. But when you're sat there as a millionaire streamer talking about how tough you got it to your people that are all slumming it at service jobs or construction work or whatever, you're going to be like, bro, you're a millionaire, shut the fuck up and entertain me. Right? I don't know, this is tale as old as time. Some celebrity moaning about some millionaire first world problem bullshit. People don't give a fuck.
That's stupid. That's dumb. That's unbelievably stupid and dumb, and nobody believes that.
Yeah, exactly. And I've seen this pointed out in chat quite a lot. And Watching Your Back has just kind of said the similar thing there. She would get mad at any other millionaire that complains about their job. She's just defending a millionaire daddy. Yeah, imagine if a CEO or some high-flying executive was complaining about how tough they've got their job. Imagine if a police officer who's not even earning that much money. Imagine if a police officer was complaining about how hard their job was. Could you imagine? Could you imagine the response to that from these people? Fucking hell, man.
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
Watch Cobra Cast's take on it. It's good. I'm probably not going to watch that. What's the headlines on it? What's the long story short?
No one here is trying to garner sympathy from the internet at all. We're just trying to talk to people in our communities. That's it. That's it. I've been shot on by Mars for 50 years and I haven't complained once, liberal. Yeah. People don't even talk about what retail during the pandemic was like. I worked at Trader Joe's, basically had to educate people on shutdowns, health, console them, settle them down, have to have to deal with massive hogs, maskless hogs, calling me a pussy in my line for wearing a mask, all while having to rock a smile, and the company profited too. I can barely remember the time because I had to block it all out. Yep. But socialist means no complain, no house. Oh, fuck, you're right.
Oh my God.
Shit, I fucked up.
All the like most annoying Oh yeah, that's what people are saying, isn't it? If you're a socialist, you can never complain and you're not allowed to have a house. Yes, you've nailed it. Oh, I hate it when people do that. Is they react to like some complete bullshit straw man thing with this kind of false... Oh, dude, it's also annoying. It's also fucking annoying. It's insufferable.
You can't see the smile under the mask, though, but you can hear a smile. Anyone here who's had to work call centers, you know. You know. The customers can hear that you aren't smiling. Customers aren't going to be able to hear me strangling you. It's not worth prison time. It's okay. It's not worth it. It's fine. It's all good. Never heard a customer smile, neither. I love how the psychos proved Hasan's point by blowing the whole thing out of proportion. Yeah. Okay, so let's get back to the conversation at hand. So, yeah, the other job, and again, I've said this before, and like for anyone that's been here for any period of time, you already know this.
What's the other job?
It's not a fucking controversial opinion.
Let's see.
The other job that I think is unbelievably difficult, and it is bullshit that these people do not get paid six figures, are teachers.
At my job laying
especially
blocks that weigh £30 each, thanking God my job is easier than Chud's.
Guys, listen, the only time I ever get annoyed in this conversation is when people make retarded comments like, oh, you know, but it's not a job, is it? You're not doing a job. It's like, well, I am doing a job. But that's not to say how hard or easy or difficult it is, but it is fundamentally, a job is anything you do for an income, right? Like that pays your bills. It could be a part-time job, full-time job. I'm lucky enough that I get to do this as a full-time job. Like, there are some stupid comments that people make, but like, it is cushy, right? Like, literally, yesterday, prime example, I woke up at 7 a.m. having had 3 hours of sleep in an alcohol and something else induced stupor, rolled out of fucking my mate's sofa. Oh, fuck, I need to go. Fucking travelled across London on the tube, got on a train back, laid down for half an hour, had a shower, then streamed for 6 hours. Not sure how much money I made yet, because it's not come in. But, you know, I probably made a pretty decent fucking chunk of money yesterday, for me at least, doing that, right? Like, fucking, you're living the dream, aren't you? You're literally living the dream. To act like that's some sort of super struggle, that's just crazy to me.
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money
like,
off depressed people?
$4.99 from Smoky Guru. Thank God in
Thank you for the $5.
Fixing septic tanks. Not having to really break my
you
back
know,
like Chud 4 days a week.
I remember doing that sort of thing back when I worked in retail, and it was like torture, having to stand up for fucking 6 or 7 hours, you know, talking to customers, putting in, God, it's horrible. It's horrible doing that shit, working a regular job. It sucks. But yeah. Anyway, the teachers thing.
Middle school teachers, especially those. I cannot believe the bullshit that teachers have to put up with, and that if you try and complain on their behalf and say it is fucked up what we make teachers go through, they're like, well, they literally have winter vacation and spring vacation and summer vacation. Maybe they shouldn't have gotten into teaching. You're so dumb. You're like the biggest moron on the planet. We will always need teachers. Always. I want those teachers to be well compensated and not over fucking worked. Teaching should be, in my opinion, teaching should be a glamorous job. I don't know how to explain glamorous. People don't even know that we get paid only 10 months a year. Those vacations are unpaid. Yeah.
But no, but the thing is, okay, you're being retarded. It's a stretch calling it a job. Well, what would you call it then, right? I am doing an activity in which I receive remuneration that is adequate to do on a full-time basis that pays my bills. What would you call that then? What do you want to call it? Like, calling it a job is not making a value judgment about how hard or easy it is or something like that. But fundamentally, if you are doing an activity, whatever that activity is, and that activity pays you an income that enables you to pay your existence through life, right? That's what I'm getting at when I say it's a job, right? It's a career. It's a livelihood. Livelihood, is that a better word? Is it because job implies some sort of hard labor? Is that the problem?
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
Remuneration, Chud Nation.
But there's no contract between employer and employee. Yeah, but I feel like you're just splitting hairs and being pedantic at that point. Right? It's a job in the same way Indian scamming is a job. Oh, come on. See, this is what I mean. Now you're being retarded, right? This is the kind of takes that I'm against and I get annoyed at. You're being retarded now in saying that. I mean, I just want to lean into it and go, yeah, I'm a scammer. Sure. But these are the kind of retarded. Now you're being retarded. Or don't be retarded in the other direction with it. Do you know what I mean? They probably are baiting me, you're right. Yeah, yeah, exactly. If you want to say like I'm self-employed, sure, I'll say I'm self-employed. If that is more comfortable for you, rather than say job, because a job is actually a contracted between an employer and an employee. Sure, I'm self-employed. How about that? Am I allowed to say that about myself? Because that is true. Literally just filed my fucking taxes with HMRC as a self-employed person. Can I say that? Is that allowed? Fuck me. I'm a self-employed internet scammer. There we go. How about that? No, there's only one person, to be fair. Scamming's hard. The scamming part, that's the hard bit. But in any case, right, you don't have to make stupid points about it, right? You can accept that it is something which you make money from, which enables you to live your life or whatever, right? But you can do it in a way that recognizes the differences between standard jobs, like an employment contract or other forms of work like that, which have got a lot of downsides, which even with the benefits kind of, you know, outweigh negatively whatever you're talking about with the streaming or content creation, right? I'm a panhandling rape cop. Correct. That is what I am.
I'm a tutor, mostly online. I do 5 hours a day, 6 days a week. Hasan's completely right. It's exhausting mentally. I can't even read. I mean, I think it's that, like, okay, let's break down the conversation in a couple different ways. Pensions don't exist now because 401ks, if we want that reality compensation, you have to pull back the financial decisions that destroyed the backbone of the retirements. I saw a headline once that said, your $5 coffees as a teacher are delaying your retirement by 5 years. And I was like, truly, what an incredible planet we live on. Incredible. I know, crazy idea. Really crazy. I'm going to say something really insane, so you guys need to buckle in. Buckle up, guys, okay? I think teachers should be able to buy some coffee on their way to work and still...
Oh my God, man. Honestly, I can't bear this. It's like this overcorrection to this take to kind of, oh no, actually, all these jobs have got it really hard. Like, but then also saying retarded
wonderful.
things about office
but
work.
How do I make money off
I can't
depressed
fucking
people?
bear it.
This scammer more of my money.
Thank you for the $20. Appreciate it. It's ultimate soy nod. Do you know what it is? I hate soy nod takes in response to getting criticized for a shit take. You know, it just feels like fundamentally dishonest where you're trying to circumvent the correct criticism you're getting for giving a shit take by giving the most soy nod, yeah, these people have got it really hard, haven't they? The retail workers and stuff. And it's true what she's saying. It's just, but you're saying this in response to you getting a shit take and getting called out for it. I will do soon. I will do soon. I've got a time in my head. Another 10 minutes and I've got a rate review to look at. So we'll do that in a sec. Yeah, it comes off as really slimy, doesn't it? You know? Oh, nasty stuff. Very sniveling, nasty. Yeah.
be able to retire. I know.
It's like so patronizing and oh, it's horrible to watch.
Sorry, let me get comfortable. It's just so stupid.
Okay,
it's so
that's
dumb.
wonderful.
It's
But how do I
unbelievably
make
dumb.
money off
A
depressed
take
people?
as hot as
$4.99 from Caleb. Did
I'm
I miss
sorry,
you talking
Caleb,
about lefties
but yes.
burning themselves alive?
And I must say, listen, I don't mean to suck myself off, okay? But I think that segment was quite funny. I'll just do the description quickly of what happened because I liked it so much, right? So basically, this fella burnt himself alive over Israel-Palestine. And this is a kind of reenactment of what happened. He starts the fire and he goes, "Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free..." Ah! Okay, there we go. That's the reenactment right there.
Coffee, not just any coffee, that fucking McDonald's coffee that gave 3rd-degree burns or whatever. Oh, yeah. Okay, so let's continue, shall we? Let's continue with the conversation. Now, there's a couple of things that are teaching should have more or less the same prestige as doctors for how important the job.
Okay, I'm skipping through it a bit and then we're going to end it.
Unless I put in some numbers wrong, which I don't think that I did.
What is
But
this?
So let's just say
Compound interest
5%.
calculator. Okay, this is boring. Don't care about this.
Times 30, let's say average 30 days in a month. Effective. To save money, consider donating a kidney or selling.
Okay, does she even show the tweet or what's the deal?
Okay,
That's not what people are saying.
But how do
It's
I
like,
make
I would compare it a lot
money
more
off
to what I said
depressed
earlier,
people?
where
€6 from Gooba Gabba. This spoiled broad completely
just
disregards
like maybe.
high-risk...
True. Thank you for the
Perhaps.
€6.
I love turning in home.
Dude, I remember working in retail. I mean, I know you're talking about like actual high-risk jobs, like working in an oil thing and stuff like that. And she's kind of said about the retail job thing. But like, I remember where there was like a spate or like some sort of instances of retail workers getting stabbed. Because on the desk of like a retail till, you'd have like stationery, like a pen and paper and maybe some scissors to cut tags off or cut something or other, right? And there was this spate where you'd have psychos come in and they'd lose their shit and they'd see the scissors and they'd grab them and, you know, there were instances where they like jammed them in some poor fucker's neck that was working at the till and shit like that. So we got like this message saying like, you know, message from head office, please remove all scissors from the shop floor, you know, in order to prevent some psycho stabbing you in the throat because they're angry about a refund. But yeah, obviously beyond that as well, yeah, there's like loads of fucking high risk jobs and yeah, there's loads of crazy stuff that you can do for money. So yeah, fundamentally
But I am not a
annoying
fucking class
coverage.
trader. Okay, I would wait until everyone left the class.
Does she even show her tweet?
As a sailing
or what?
coach, I was pulling down 400-pound boats up and down ramps on a steep beach in the heat and dealing with 8-year-old kids all day trying to keep them safe in a sport they could easily get.
She's showing other people's
Twitter,
tweets.
that in my opinion, the hardest job is teaching.
Now she's like saying a bunch of other shit. Does she show her tweet or not? Like, it's so crazy to me that you're defending yourself against people attacking you for a bad take and you're not going to show what the take is. Where is it?
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
If we have to listen to more Denims, I might pull a Free Palestine.
Thank you very much. For whatever that... Oh! An Austrian painter. Thank you very much for the 333. Just cut to the chase. Does she bring up her own tweet or not? You know, I don't really care about other people's takes that she's bringing up to, you know... Dude, this person... It's unbearable! How does anyone watch this shit, bro? So she's now just doing this cope of like, no, this is what I meant actually. Show your tweet, show your take. Does she? I can't see it on the preview here. Oh, here we go. Here, she might do it here. She might do it here. I saw something.
Okay,
Maybe.
now on to the next point. Content creator is so much, it causes so much stress, I think.
She does. She does. 3 hours, 10 minutes into the stream, where she's just prefaced it by saying all this other shit, she finally shows her fucking tweet and was talking about Mutahar. Fuck me, man. I don't know. Maybe I just operate differently. I think if you're getting shit for a take, it feels like what she's done is she's preloaded this by saying all this stuff to make herself look good, and so she can finally show it, and it's like, oh no, we know what she meant to be saying and all of that. But this is what people saw originally. This is what people were so outraged about. It's obvious that people looking at this are going to be fucking outraged. What did she say about it anyway? Let's see.
Blah, 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 blah. It's the same thing with streaming. It's like you have to be prepared. You have to constantly work on things. You don't just wing it.
What preparation is Denims doing to go live for 4 hours, 1 hour of which is playing someone else's video as a starting soon screen? Guys, this is such bullshit, man. Like, look, it is true that there's some aspect of like preparation that you need to do. And sometimes there's times where I want to talk about something and I don't have it all to hand and I need to spend 30 minutes, 45 minutes quickly pulling some tweets together just to be able to present them on stream. You know, if it's like there's a lot, it might be as much as like 2 hours before stream. You're sat there just pulling stuff together and bringing it together. But like, it's not difficult. It's like, dude, it's like so crazy to me because even at a point where I'm doing like the most work I would do, even calling it work feels a bit much, right? But no, I'm sat there for 2 hours pulling stuff. I'm literally just like this. Okay, so there's this tweet here, right? Oh, I wanted to see that as well. What was that? Okay, I've got that, put that there. But also as well, what you can also do is just go to your Discord and go, hey guys, who's got a timestamp for this? And normally someone will go, oh, here's the timestamp. You're like, okay, cool, there we go. There's a fucking boom, easy. Like you've got a whole community that will help you as well and tell you where stuff is because they want to help you, you know, have the content so they get the best coverage that they can enjoy back the other way. I just, you know, this narrative that there's this like extra work you need to do, that's true. But like, let's not act like we're out here fucking slaving away. It's not like, you know, you're acting like you're a chef going in before the fucking shift to chop up vegetables or some shit, which is fucking, you know, some remedial bullshit that you have to do to get ready for your task. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just not, it's not like that.
TLDR, read Judith Butler. You're spitting, dude. You are fucking spitting. You're spitting, man. You're spitting. Okay, now on to the next point, guys. What I got canceled for. All right.
Here we go. Finally. 3 hours in.
Now, I tweeted this out.
After front-loading all of it with, actually, I love service workers, and I think our workers have to work really hard. Now we get to your dog shit take. Now your audience is prepped. Let's go.
Again, I did not think that this was a scandalous tweet. I didn't realize people were going to think this is so scandalous. Because I was just talking about my experience where I said, as someone who'd worked 12-hour shifts, I told you guys it was door-to-door sales bullshit, with a 4-hour commute, streaming is easily the hardest job that I've had. The post-stream social exhaustion is so real.
Also, the other thing as well, right? Here's the other thing too. I would take fucking 2 hours sat here, right? Fucking around, looking at something, getting distracted by an argument on my Discord and talking some shit in there, right? Watching a YouTube video or something, right? And putting stuff together. I would take that over like a 1 hour commute or something like that, right? Like, a commute is one of the most underestimated parts of a job because you're literally just spending your time traveling to work. And that's it. Do you see what I mean? It's like such a fucking shitty part of the job. The most I've ever had to commute is like probably 30 minutes or something like that. But yeah, traveling like any longer than that, like an hour to and from work, that shit fucking sucks, man. You know?
I don't know how anyone can do it every day. And again, I'm just talking about my experience. As someone who did fucking door-to-door sales for 12 hours and had a fucking 4-hour commute and had to go to school while doing it.
Door-to-door sales? You wait, so she's claiming she did door-to-door sales for 12 hours a day. And that's easier than streaming. What? This what? With a 4-hour commute? What? This is unbelievable.
That was a hard job. This is harder. The level of like self-criticizing you have to do as a content creator is so much.
Let me listen to that again.
Door sales bullshit. Spitting. You're spitting, man. You're spitting. Okay, now on to the next point, guys. What I got canceled for. All right. Now, I tweeted this out. I did not think that this was a scandalous tweet. I didn't realize people were going to think this is so scandalous. Because I was just talking about my experience where I said, as someone who'd worked 12-hour shifts, I told you guys it was door-to-door sales bullshit, with a 4-hour commute, streaming is easily the hardest job that I've had. The post-stream social exhaustion is so real. I don't know how anyone can do it every day. And again, I'm just talking about my experience as someone who did fucking door-to-door sales for 12 hours and had a fucking 4-hour commute and had to go to school while doing it. That was a hard job. This is harder. The level of like self-criticizing.
So there's two parts to this. I do not believe what she's saying about her job that was like that. That sounds completely bullshit. You had to commute 4 hours a day to do 12 hours of door-to-door sales. What is that exactly? And you had school on top of that. That sounds like bullshit on the face of it. And then on top of it, you're trying to claim that streaming is harder, and not just streaming is harder broadly, like someone that puts a fucking long 8-hour, 10-hour fucking streaming, but you specifically find streaming harder when you are streaming on average, what, four hours total, with an hour of that every stream, up to an hour, 45 minutes to an hour, being you just playing someone else's video while you get ready. Huh? What? And you're trying to act like this is a reasonable take that people are stupid for getting outraged with. Are you serious? She's either a retarded bitch or she's a liar or she's both. Really. That's what this comes down to. Yeah, she's so out of touch that she doesn't think people are going to look at this and just be like, yeah, this sounds like bullshit. This sounds like total bullshit from every angle. Right? I mean, bro. Dude, unfortunately, because of my state yesterday and because I got to pick the kids up today, I'm doing a 6-hour stream, but that's short to me. I normally will try and put in 8 hours at least, and sometimes I go a bit over. Maybe an extra 15 minutes, 30 minutes. Other times I maybe will go for up to, 10 hours if there's a lot going on or I get into something. And that's more rare these days. But yeah, normally 8 hours. And whatever you think of my stream, it's quite a high intensity, high energy. I try and bring a lot to it and try and make it fun and try and make it interesting. Whatever, that's my take on it. Hopefully you agree with that. Maybe disagree.
That's wonderful. But how do I make
But there's no way on earth. I would think that would be harder than what she is trying to describe.
The hardest job I've had.
What?
And that 5 years ago, lol, there's no fucking way, bro.
Thank you for the $5, Caleb. Appreciate it.
Okay,
what are you on about?
But how do I make money off depressed people?
$4.99 from Nicholas de Oreo.
Yo!
I love this drama. They used to call me lazy and now I work 40+ hours, post URR and have a living main
True,
channel.
Nicholas.
I am the hardest worker in the space.
Exactly, Nicholas. Bro, you should do fucking even more and then quit your job and become a full-time rate reviewer like me.
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
Come on, we want to see you around more.
99 from Casey Anderson. It's messing with me that I just joined and it already says 3 hours streaming. Love it and will catch
Yeah, sorry,
up.
I had to start early today because
bestiality isn't okay.
I got stuff to deal with. I've got to pick my kids up. Sorry about that. But yes, it is an earlier stream today. But yeah, even after I've worked, sorry, I won't use that word because somebody wouldn't like it, okay? After I have streamed for 10 hours, even after I stream for 12 hours or 13 hours, right? I cannot imagine sitting there and thinking, even in my most, oh man, that was a fucking long one. Jesus, I'm feeling tired and my social batteries are drained. I could not imagine thinking, damn, I wish I'd done a 12-hour shift doing door-to-door with a 4-hour commute. It's just delusional. It's totally delusional, man. It just is total bullshit. Everyone could see it. Man, I wish I'd just done a fucking 12-hour shift as a line cook, man. Like, it's just fun. I mean, to be fair, she's not saying that. She's talking about her own experience, I guess. But anyone that is in a similar situation to what she's describing. Yeah. Last time I tuned into a channel, she was just watching the Avatar Last Airbender movie. Nah, that's not true. Come on, Jack. That can't be true. Oh, there's no way. She was just watching a movie.
But how do I make money off depressed people?
What?
£5 from Smug Bugged. No one called me a PDF at my door-to-door sales job.
Hey, true, Smugbug. Thank you very much for the £5. Hope you're well. Dude, there's no way she was sat there watching a movie. Shall we down and sing Imagine for Palestine? Sure. My face when I've received a month's worth of wage slave bucks in 1 hour of streaming and my social battery's on 50%.
My best streamer putting in all the hours.
Dude. Crazy. Crazy. Like, listen, dude, listen, I'm not saying this to brag, okay? It's just to demonstrate, even at my level, like, how crazy it is, right? And this has been a record month for my channel across all avenues. Viewership, income, fucking every aspect you can imagine. It's been record for me, okay? Bro! Yo, what the fuck, dude? I've got to delete a tweet. Dude, what the fuck? It's happened live. I'm getting fucked by Elon Musk live. Raped by Elon in real time. Oh. Wait, which one is this? Okay, I could probably find it now, can't I? Dude, I'm getting fucked in real time. I better not show it on stream just to be on the safe side, eh? Oh, no. When was it? February 20... So today at 1:15 a.m. What did I post at 1:15 a.m.? I thought I was asleep. I literally got no idea what that was. Or was that EST, maybe? Okay, violating our views against violent speech. Will it work if I post it in Discord? Oh my god! Bro, this is what... Dude! I'm getting fucked for this! Are you serious? This is a meme! This is parody of what people are saying! Wait, so all these fucking freaks get to post about what a brave, noble act it is to burn yourself to a crisp for no reason, and I mock it a little bit and I'm getting fucked for that. Yeah, comedy's legal on Twitter, am I right, Elon? That's crazy! This is obviously satire! Bro, this is fucking stupid. How do I appeal it? I don't know how to appeal it. It's only a 12-hour fucking... It's only 12 hours. I can browse, but I can't post, repost, follow, or even like. Dude, how can you not tell this is satirical? It's got the soy jack guy in. Dude, this is so stupid, man. I don't want anyone telling me how based Elon Musk is for free speech when I'm getting clapped for this. Fuck off, dude. Anyway. Dude, that was popping off as well. That had like 300 odd likes when I last saw it. It was about to fucking blow up, I'm sure. Oh well. Oh well. So be it. Oh, I can't appeal it apparently. Yeah, I think that... dude, I can't. Okay. Anyway, don't worry about it for now. It's 12 hours. It is what it is. I thought it was a good meme. Oh, well. Anyway, sorry. That literally happened live as we speak. So I just had to address it, didn't I? As it happened. Right. Anyway, come on. Let's crack on. What else have we got?
You have to do as a content creator is so much... It causes so much stress, I think. It's just the thing is, it's also very fulfilling because bringing back this, a job can be taxing and fulfilling. And he wrote, streaming is by far one of the easiest, most privileged jobs one can have. If you're successful, surely I can trust the opinion of someone who can't even write the correct your.
Dude, this is bro. This is like infuriating, no? I mean, this is absolutely insufferable to listen to.
Right? This is a good source right here. If you're successful, the rewards far outweigh any of the negatives compared to any service job. Cybersecurity or nursing, you'll find something actually exhausting. This guy doesn't stream. Isn't this guy...
Wait, that's not even true. Muha does stream. I mean, besides the point, that's kind of irrelevant, right? Like, what he said... I mean, Muha is just correct on this. He's totally correct.
A YouTuber? Also, cybersecurity is not... Maybe the people I know who do cybersecurity...
I don't know much about the cybersecurity part, but...
Or they just happen to have easy jobs, but, And again, I didn't say that streaming is the hardest jobs. I said streaming is the hardest job I have done. It's not, I'm not making a claim with about anyone else's job. I'm not going to tell someone else that their job is easier than mine.
How does she not understand this, though? You are making a claim that your lazy-ass streaming model is harder than that thing, and other people that are currently experiencing that thing are going to look at that and go, well, hang on a minute. I know, having done that or doing that now, that doesn't really add up for me. It sounds like bullshit. And the bullshit you're spouting to defend your fucking millionaire streamer fucking orbit person, right?
His last stream was 2 years ago. Again, and let me just say something really quickly as well. Two things. Number one, I already mentioned this. Being a YouTuber is fucking easy.
Okay, what are these memes? Watching Aang beat the Fire Nation is harder than an oil rig. She wasn't just watching a movie on stream. Come on, man. That's crazy. Can someone link me that just so I can have a brief look? I probably can't even watch her watching it because of Content ID. Well, I was thinking, how would she get away with that? But if it's on Twitch and it doesn't get picked up, then yeah, possibly you're going to get away with that.
Okay. Especially if you upload monthly, being a YouTuber is so fucking easy. As a successful YouTuber, that is the easiest job on the fucking planet. And I know because I'm friends with a lot of YouTubers. And
what?
Muha
uploads a video regularly. Why is she talking about monthly uploads when Muha uploads regularly?
They will literally take like 3-week vacations. It is so fucking easy a job. I'm so jealous of those people. I want to be a YouTuber so bad. But transitioning to being a YouTuber is kind of a lot of work.
Yeah, he's a YouTuber, which is, of course, completely different. He's the one who, with other YouTuber car jobs, uncovered the completion.
Well, what is she on about? Just because you know some lazy-ass fucking YouTubers. Oh, is that still going to let me do it? Okay, let's just do it like this.
Be a badger more. You sure?
Bro! You're kidding me. she's watching Avatar. There's no way. There's no way. How? Okay, be real with me. Are we talking like? Is that wait? Is this like the what is it? The multi-watch thing that you can do? The group watch thing on Amazon Prime? Is it an Amazon Prime show? Or is it on Netflix? Okay, I need you to be real with me before I tweet this out, okay? Right? Is she watching just the full series on stream? And she's watching the full episode? Is that 100% correct? Can you confirm that for me? Fuck, I can't tweet because YouTube fucking Twitter, you fucking morons. I need to tweet this out, bro. Oh, no. Nightmare. Fuck. I've just realised, yeah, I can't tweet, can I? Oh, okay, I'll have to do it later. I have to remember in fucking I'm gonna stay up till 2 a.m. just to tweet that shit out, okay? No, I'll probably be asleep. I need to get up early for the kids. I need to take the kids to school tomorrow as well. How can you speak without a mouth, Neo? That's what I feel like right now. Jesus. Anyway. I have no Twitter and I must tweet.
His donation fraud scandal. His take here is so on base.
I mean, I'm gonna hire
Nicholas, it falls upon you. He just messaged me. No, I'm getting cucked.
But how do I make money?
Nicholas, at least cut me into the impressions.
You have to do a
Right? At least give me $1 for the impressions. Come on, man. Come on, bro. Help a brother out. Come on. Do you know what he just said to me? He said, Netflix, and you're banned. So it's my tweet, get raped. Is what he said to me. That's fucking brilliant, man. Fuck. Dude, that's so annoying. I would have tweeted out there and then. Oh, well. Anyway, look, I'm only fucking around with the impression. It doesn't really matter. Twitter doesn't pay fuck all anyway. Go and retweet that Nicholas tweet. We need to get this out there, okay? This is not about money. It's about sending a message, okay? Get that retweeted now when he does it. Only for 12 hours. Only for 12 hours. Thank you for the super chat.
It's like he's off on things all the time. This is like just another one of his like bad takes. It's just another one of his bad takes. Is that an AI Hasan? Yeah, we have a lot of AI voices. Sorry, I banned this guy because I don't like chatters that just anytime they're in chat, the only time they're in chat, they are just complaining. But I wanted to show it to you guys. This guy's been around for 5 months, 6 months. So he's watched the stream and he has the audacity to write in chat. Is there anything easier than being a streamer? You're gaming all day.
God, here's the thing as well, right? What's so fucking annoying about this is like, she's the audacity of Denims when she's so fucking lazy and barely streams as it is. And and part of that is watching Avatar, apparently. Bro, it is insane to me. Like, I'd even accept it a bit more. Like, I still think it's stupid, but you can even maybe understand it if someone that streams more hours and stuff is having some of these takes. But you stream for 4 hours a day, 5 days a week, and an hour of that is watching someone else's video, and apparently, and not even watching it, playing it, you're not even there. Okay, and then on top of that as well, you're watching Avatar The Last Airbender on stream.
I'd rather stream than be an active service member. Hell, I'd rather self-immolate than be an active service member.
Thank you, Aaron Bushnell, for the 333. Appreciate that. Must have got that one in from hospital. Thank you. Jesus Christ, man.
You've watched this stream before. How can you come in here and say, I don't even game on stream? Because gaming on stream is too hard. Workers fighting workers for no reason? I know.
Workers fighting workers.
But this is one of those things where it's like, hilariously enough, if Keemstar is against you, you're on the right side. And hilariously enough, Keemstar started the discourse. And I disagree with him, so I'm on the right side. And anyone else who's agreeing with him is also on the wrong side. So
okay, that's wonderful.
I feel very comfortable. I know that I did not say anything controversial. If people want to get mad, they can get mad. I don't care.
God, it's just insufferable.
Now,
how the fuck does anyone, dude, honestly,
have the best content that you can have?
Honestly, it's just infuriating.
Like, this kid is lying. You're
right, okay. And then relying on Asmongold's take. Asmongold, who, by the way, is so can't stream on his main channel. Yeah, I'm sure that's a good person to ask about the mental taxation of streaming. Dude, that was so annoying yesterday. Oh, Asmongold said. Literally don't care what Asmongold thinks about this. It's the smug. It's the smug condescension that I think I find so insufferable with this. You know, that's what I find most annoying. Anyway, I think we're gonna wrap things up on this particular segment. I was never gonna be. Listen, I think it's quite clear. You know, you think streaming's easy? Try watching fucking 4 hours of Denims content and tell me how you feel after that, okay? Try reacting to 4 hours of stream. Sorry. Thank you very much, ZM Inc. for the $10. Appreciate it. It's only 12 hours. It's just annoying because now my tweet's going to get stolen. Now, listen, in all seriousness, it's fucking doesn't matter, right? Wait, what's this? Yo, okay, he's done it in quite a good way. I can't even fucking like this shit, man. Fucking bullshit. I can't even fucking like it. Fucking gay, man. Why can't you like a tweet? It's so stupid. Anyway, the plight of an influencer. The struggles of an influencer, guys. So, quote tweeting this tweet. I'm sure active service members think, thank God I don't have to stream Netflix's Avatar The Last Airbender to my Twitch chat after a long shift commute. Banger. Absolute banger, honestly. Because I got suspended for 12 hours for that funny meme that well, in my opinion, funny meme, I guess. I thought it was funny.